Hi, my name's Josh Silver and I'm the author of HappyHead, and I'm so chuffed that I've been nominated for your brilliant award, and so I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and why I wrote the book. So I'm actually a mental health nurse. I have worked on adolescent inpatient wards for the last couple of years, and it's a really rewarding, sometimes very difficult job, but while I was there, I noticed how difficult it can be for young people when they're struggling. And not only that, I really love dystopian stuff. So like my favourite TV show is Squid Game. There's one called Alice in Borderland, which you might have heard of, where sort of really dark and strange things start to happen, and there's a sort of competitive element to it. So that's where the idea for HappyHead came, and it follows the story of Seb, who is a young boy who is struggling. He people would call him a loner. They would say he's anxious, socially incapable, and his parents don't really know what to do with him. And then he gets a letter through the post inviting him to a 13-day programme in the middle of nowhere in the Scottish wilderness. And he goes along with 99 other 17-year-olds, and when they get there, they have to undertake challenges and assessments. But those challenges and assessments start to become increasingly dark and strange, and he meets a boy who he falls for, and together they sort of find out that there might be no escape and that they might be competing for something. So I'll just jump in. He's in his room and he's just got there and he has a visitor. So yeah, here we go. Only me, Sebastian. How are we this morning? She says, jolly as Christmas. Do people not knock here then? No, sure, okay, that's fine. She looks at the newly made bed, then nods and types something into her tablet. Hi, I say, yeah, I'm okay, just hot. Oh yes, it can get warm in these rooms, you'll get used to it. I miss grumpy people. Okie dokie, she says, chip insertion time. Right, yeah, about that, I say. Shh, I work best when it's quiet, if that's okay, Mr. Seaton. Sebastian's such a lovely name, but you seem like a mister to me. I hope you don't mind. I definitely do, but I nod because I don't know what to say. Coolio, she says. Now, this won't take a moment, top off. Her name badge says she's called Misty. Anyone named Misty was always predestined to be eternally ecstatic, so I guess I can't really blame her. She begins to hum something that sounds a bit like Crazy by Gnarls Barkley, but I could be wrong. Then she opens her bag on the desk and takes out a long needle and a scalpel. Don't mind these little guys, she says. All bark and no bite. Sit. I do. My tummy puffs out beneath me like it always does. She notices as I cover it up with my arm. Oh, don't be silly, she says. She pulls on a pair of clinical gloves with a slap and picks up the needle. Right, slight scratch. When Misty says slight scratch, what she really means is new depths of searing agony. She pushes the needle into my skin a few centimetres above my nipple, and the pain pulsates outwards, then tingles into a bizarre numbness. Jesus, I hiss through gritted teeth. Misty frowns, then bites her lip as she picks up the scalpel. Language, Mr. Seaton, she says. She looks at her watch, humming. A few more seconds, and now. She gives me a huge smile and slices a vertical line in my skin, just below my collarbone. I pull myself backwards in shock, but she grips hold of my upper arm. She squeezes it tight. Keep still. Thank you, Mr. Seaton. The anaesthetic is in place. She leans over the bag and fishes around in it, taking her sweet time. I feel a line of thick blood run down to my pale, doughy stomach and into my belly button. The room swims. Eventually, Misty turns back with a pair of tweezers pinching a small metallic square that looks like a green flashing SIM card. It beeps. All working. With one very swift movement, she pushes it into the open cut on my chest. The nausea hits me so violently that it causes the roof of my mouth to suddenly fill with saliva and make me dribble. I squeeze my palms together as hard as I can, as this seems to be the only way of stopping myself from throwing up all over her yellow Crocs. Very brave, I hear her saying as I fold in on myself. She pushes my shoulder so I sit upright again, and she begins to stitch. One little suture and it's all done. She stays focused, her tongue poking out from between her teeth. Then she steps back, marvelling at her work. See? How easy was that? I put my elbow on my knees and my head in my hands. How long? I don't really know the end of this sentence. Until the anaesthetic wears off. Oh, probably this afternoon. It might start to sting a little right in the middle of an assessment, but you'll be fine, she says, moving me a bit and wiping the blood off my stomach. She puts a plaster over the stitch and begins packing away her things like she's just visited an old friend for a milky hot drink and a rich tea. It was nice to meet you, Mr. Seaton. I hope I'll be seeing much more of you. Yeah, I say, carefully pulling my t-shirt and my hoodie back on. Thanks. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. She reaches into a bag. I recoil, but she lifts out a small pin badge, a smiley face. She leans forward and pins it next to the zip on my hoodie, right in front of where she sliced me. There, now you look the part. Wear this with pride. You need to make your way to assessment room 3 for 8 o'clock. Individual meditation. Don't be late. She practically skips out of the door. I run to the bathroom and projectile vomit my grey porridge straight into the bottom of the toilet bowl. So yeah, as you can see, things start to get a bit strange and it gets worse. So I hope you enjoy it. If you've read it, I hope you did enjoy it. And I think for me, the most important thing about this book is I have struggled with my own mental health in the past, and I really just wanted to write a book about how difficult and how sort of bad the mental health system is actually in the UK, which I work for, and how much more needs to be done and what the sort of consequences further down the line could be. So that's it. Thank you so much. Enjoy.